Hey, hello. Let me just get my stuff set up here. Bear with me. Takes me a minute. Can I get an audio check? Hello. Taking a look at who's here. Looks on my end like it's working. I just don't want to touch this too much. I think that's the problem. Esharina, how are you doing today? Thank you, Esharina. I appreciate it. Nikki Dubs, good afternoon to you. Brave Cobra, Lana BR, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Kind of wondering. Let me just check and see. Seeing who's here. I'll wait till he pops in. He may pop in. I got a thing I want to promote. One of my buddies. Gotta get you a new mic. Yeah, yeah, it's approved. I haven't ordered it quite yet. Caught me in a bad moment. Out to dinner in a sec. No problem, Brave Cobra. No problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I know people come and go. It's a Saturday. This is, you know, as if the rest of the streams aren't chill. This is chill. But yeah, no problem. Catch up on the VOD or I'll see you around. There's no, you know, stuff happens. So how you guys doing? We got a bunch of snow here, a bunch. So if there's some weird background noise, It's people out using their snow plows and all that. I still got to get at that. Not happening today, because it's still supposed to be coming down. I've got our stream to do and Colts game later. Dang, divisional. We started 1-5. There, I predicted that we might go 8-8 at best. I figured 7-9 was reasonable. Well, yeah, I mean, technically it's not, but what they're saying, and I haven't stepped outside the house today. My dog did. I let him out. I've got a miniature dachshund, so he's a very low rider. He went out and he was like, "Yeah, patio's just fine." They just then came back in. He was having none of that nonsense. But apparently it's kind of one of those wet, heavy snows. So yeah. Oh, Landon BR, you're kind of more in the kind of in that just super cold, and it does sometimes get too cold to snow. I did read that somewhere. Trying to see. Pretty mild here. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, sometimes if it's super cold for a while and I get acclimated to it, and then it gets up to like 40, then I'll just go out without even wearing a coat because I'm just acclimated to it and I'm like, oh, this feels like spring. Yeah, it's bouncing around some pretty cold temperatures, and I'm having to reacclimate because we had a stretch where, I mean, it was January something and it was 55 degrees out. Snow is a rarity. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know it's hit or miss. Kind of depends on geography and whatnot. Okay, let's yeah, let's get to some stuff here. I want to talk about some stuff. If Rambling Geek pops in and I don't see him pop in, let me know. Important, fun stuff going on there. And I'll try and keep an eye on the chat in case my microphone decides to be dumb. And let's try to get on that one that I had. I don't know how this is going to work. It's just a random shuffle, and some of this stuff is... I got to pay a little more attention to the sound. Riley Dom, just super windy over here in the northwest of the UK. Hey, from all the way over there. What's up? We hear Robert Tables here in the colony, in one of the colonies, are streaming today. He knows. Yeah, he knows. I'm just wanting to promote his stream, and I want him here to see the promotion. I want to see what we can do this weekend to help him hit that goal that he has. So we'll wait, and then we'll do the shout out and the linky and the share around and the tweet and whatnot, and we'll see if we can make that happen for him. So super excited. He's very good people. Let's see. Where's my... is that font size okay for y'all? Rambling Geek suggested to watch you, Riley Down. That's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I hope he didn't set the expectations too crazy. Yeah, so we got that. So let's recap our last one here. So that was January 10th. So, previously, we did some updates, stream updates, reviewed, found a really cool thing that Brave Cobra 2. Font size good for you. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. It's a little big for me, obviously, but, you know, we can deal with it. So, yeah, we reviewed. We found an issue on Octobox, which I've got to always plug me some Octobox. I don't have anything now, I don't think. I don't think I do. Yeah. Let me just double check. But what we did see is there is a repo that we're using to track ideas. Nikki Dubs, you got to give me the 411 on the community as well. I'm thinking about following your footsteps. Yeah, yeah. If you're into this kind of thing, Yeah, maybe we should do that. Um, maybe I'll put together. Heck, I'll write the issue now, because I don't want to do the command on stream because it's kind of weird. Actually, I can just use this because I just posted the link. I think we should have a chat command. What do you think? A chat command for kind of what's the group of us, and maybe the command could delineate between some of um, the how do I want to say this? Differentiate between the new streams that have started and spun off from kind of the source of the original ones, and we can collaborate on this issue with how we want to do that. I don't want to just there is a thing that you can there is a GitHub repo, and I probably should submit this one just for visibility. But a lot of us kind of run around in the same circles, and it would be nice to have a relatively concise list that I could actually put in the one of the info boxes below the whole stream. So if you're watching, you scroll down, there's some info box stuff, but then have a chat command for, hey, what are streamers that you like that I should go watch? And it would be sort of like an Uber shout out command. Maybe we should do that. So let's make an issue for that real quick. And then if you guys have thoughts, I'll post a link once we create this in here. Chat command for listing community or new viewers to find content. Yeah, there we go. We could do this. And I'll keep an eye on this. And when I think we have a reasonable format, I'll post it as a comment, and then when I make it, I'll take a screenshot of the command that I made, and it would be live. So, but yeah, go ahead and just use the comments on this. It should, yeah, that should work, right? Just add comments, and then we'll kind of collate those together and have a proposed thing. And then as far as, so just to keep it clean, when people submit a thing, don't like make a comment that says +1 or something. Use the emoticon type thing. So for example, I'll write a comment here that oh heck, Lannon, dang, did I not create that? Okay, we're gonna have to do that. What we're doing today. Yeah. Good call. So what we are doing today is we're going to make a little bit more progress on our Terraform AWS multi-account, multi-workspace, GraphQL, dual container API setup and push. So we're just making progress today. I was gonna go over an Arduino thing, but I got ahead of you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'll close this. I'll close it up. And if you're not familiar with Octobox, which that could be maybe a thing too, like what are some of the tools that I'm using in editor and all that stuff. We can get to that stuff. That's pretty easy. Okay. So we did the thing. We did a little retro of what we did. The goals that we reached is AWS multi-account with authentication set up. We created the initial state bucket in Terraform. Should make a note about that. I want to record that we did it. Let's see. In AWS with keys and CLI config. Then we did Terraform. Moved to public getter of the hubs. Okay, so then okay, on the right, here's what we're gonna do. I'll do this real quick. of space there. I don't Vim very good sometimes. Okay. So do that, to do and then on the thing, here's the next set of goals. Work with me, Vim. Work with me. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Ancient Coder. Good evening. Oh, so it's evening where you're at. I haven't memorized where all y'all are at. Brave Cobra 2. All right. Hey, man. No worries. Enjoy the din-dins. Good deal. So let me pull up a little bit of a visual for what we're doing, just so, because I'm a visual person and I want you guys to understand. I want to use this to communicate in the way that I learn, and if you're not visual, we'll do this. Ancient Coder, we're doing some AWS, we're doing some Terraform, we're making some forward progress on getting our GraphQL API out in the clouds. To the cloud. So here's what we're doing, and I got to figure out a way to mark what's done, but we have 3 individual AWS accounts that I went ahead and provisioned with cross-account roles and a user that has access to those roles, and that user is like a deployer user. We also created our initial global state and our DynamoDB table. We created the bucket, and we handled the chicken and egg situation by committing the creation of that to source control. So we're going to want to wrap up that pull request on GitHub and get that merged in and pulled down and everything, and then we'll move to the next part where we actually create a global workspace which will store its Terraform state backend in this one, and it will go ahead and create a couple of these other things that we want. Once we get there, then we can start getting into the workspaces, and we could start defining both of these environments by switching back and forth between those workspaces to get things kind of prepped and set up. And then beyond that, the project moves more into deploying the stuff out, container rollout, doing things less manual with code build, DNS cutover type stuff. That's pretty way down the road, but I'm learning some stuff along the way. You guys hopefully are getting some value out of this. We're going to do some more stuff with our Docker containers. We got to fix those up for prod. Or for non-local dev, anyway. But, yeah, that's what we're doing. And so let's go see where we're actually at project-wise, where we left off here. So this is our thing with our 2 services. We've got just a normal REST API, and then we've got this, which I do for now. Since this is a thing we're wanting to deploy, we probably are going to want to put a health check in here, because we don't have it for the REST API. We will probably want to do the same thing. Might do that here shortly. And then, so that's the server. So this is the GraphQL server. DB is kind of like the fake REST backend. And then we created a deploy folder with init. And inside init, we have our single file that defines our AWS provisioner, sets a version, sets a region. I still haven't debugged what's going on with that. I may not even need it now. But I'm going into Ohio just because it's relatively new hardware. We're not using experimental features that usually get rolled out to Virginia first, which is US East 1, and it's a little bit closer to me. So that's the only reason. So we created a bucket, an S3 bucket. We gave it a bucket name. We gave it a private ACL. We want to prevent the destroy. We've got versioning enabled, server-side default encryption, and we added some tags to it. The tags, resource tags, are super helpful for figuring out like billing, and like if you have a tag with an environment ops, you could just do a search for all the resources that cost money on a tag name ops, and use that for kind of sifting and sorting through your bills and your cost reports and whatnot. So you could say ops cost us this much, dev cost us this much, that kind of thing. And then I picked this up from a buddy that I work with to actually add this tag managed. And so this can help you. You could actually do a search for what is not managed by Terraform, and that could become a prioritized list of figuring out can it be managed, should it be managed, and then a work process to go import that stuff and make it managed under Terraform. But the stuff that is managed, it's also nice to, you just say, okay, what all is managed by Terraform? And maybe you could do some data reporting on that to say, hey, we're at 65% Terraform managed. And then, kind of have, an ops or like a tactical team go try to start getting that stuff done and bring that number up, like almost like code coverage, kind of, right? Then what we did is we created a table. We created a DynamoDB table, which is going to have a key that is functioning as a lock. And so when you do a plan or an apply, you want to basically freeze the world from what other people are doing. And if they try to do a thing at the same time, it's going to be locked and they won't be able to do it until you're done with your thing and it releases the lock, and vice versa. If they're doing a thing, you're not going to be able to do a thing, which is super handy, especially as you start getting, multiple teams and people kind of working in the same infrastructure and the same code base. You don't want to accidentally be trying to change or delete a resource that somebody else is doing stuff with, because then you would end up with a corrupt state, and it's really a challenge to fix that. So use a lock table. It's a good call. And then in our Terraform state, this is what ended up being after we created. So I haven't defined any outputs. I probably should. Probably should, but for this one, it's not terribly important. Actually, no, because we're not going to be able to. Yeah, it doesn't matter for this one. But generally, you'll define outputs so that other stuff can read your state and get values of like, what is the ARN or the URL or the whatever of your thing, so I can then take that and use it as a variable somewhere, and put a pin in variables because we're going to do that almost immediately. So we've got an ID for this. This is the ARN. These are a bunch of attributes that it set. You can kind of go through here and see. This didn't really add any kind of like keys or secrets or anything. So since this is fixing that chicken and the egg, it's fine to just commit this into source control. And then if somebody else pulls this down, they'll actually have the state in there too. So if they want to do a thing like change a tag or add a tag, they can do that, and everybody else would end up getting those things when they pull. But this is a thing, you're not going to touch this hardly ever. You just have to have a place to put it as like that starting point. The only other option is you manually click and go through the console. So I just wanted to show you the other option and, get started with some Terraform. So let's commit this and do a PR. LanaBR. So this is the setup script for Terraform to set up the state of Terraform, and then you have other TF. Exactly, precisely. This is your starting point. You cd in this directory, you run this thing, it makes the bucket in the tables. From that point on, you're not doing really anything, and we'll create our other stuff. The only difference is when we create our global as opposed to workspace, a global for creating the workspace state bucket, that will be stored in this bucket we just created, and we'll reference it when we define the backend for that global. I'll say my backend is S3, and it's that bucket that already exists because we ran in and manually did this. It's like a setup shell script almost. And that's why you don't have to really do anything. So I kind of documented this and said, we chose option 2. This is why we checked in the non-sensitive state. I think this looks good. And I think I probably already pushed it. Yeah, so we will do a PR, but we're going to do it all within Visual Studio Code. And so we go to here, I think, yeah. Let's close that. Those are our changes. I pushed it all up. I've never used this feature. So what if we choose a target branch? What branch am I on? Yeah. Develop. Creating pull request. No. Oh, this makes me so happy. This is the coolest thing. Yeah, it's the new GitHub PR thing. And, I'm using VS Code on a Mac. I don't know if there's other things that exist like this for Bitbucket or GitLab or anything like that, but I do know it exists for this, and this is what we're using. Code Commit is another one. That's an AWS native managed one. I don't I don't use it because I don't necessarily see a particular value in it. Um, for sure for this project, but now we get all this cool stuff that GitHub's been doing. So let's see, and it says like I'm in review mode. This is cool. So what? How would I? Oh, and there's nice, and there's the files. Look at this. Okay, so I've got my list of the commits with my fantastic commit messages. Um, Folks, do as I say, not as I do sometimes. Okay. And it says checked out. I think that's just because it's local, so we'll have to see what that would look like if there's other PRs pushed up that I didn't do to get it on here, because that would be super nice. Landon BR, that's awesome to know. That's awesome to know. I hope they do that. Because this is so nice. Like, I did not have to go through the interface or any of that crap. Mickey Dubs, I'll show you some good commit messages. Haha. Well, if you're not following it yet, you should. Let me find this. I'll do this off screen. I don't know who's gonna be atting me right now. That's yeah. So get lost. I'm pretty sure that like this is just a bot that goes through and parses a bunch of messages and whatnot. But yeah, it's essentially developer swearing. So if you're easily offended, don't follow that. Otherwise, there are definitely some real gems that pop up from time to time. Okay, so I didn't have to do this. Didn't have to do this. We know we're gonna have to do some stuff marking this to do or not to do, but get this PR done. So I'm like, looks good to me. Comment. Say approve. Approving. What's that mean? What's that say? Oh, you can't approve your own pull request. Wait, I think we ran into this last time. But I think I can merge it. Pretty sure. Yeah, I can merge it. So on GitHub, I went and switched up my branch protection where a merge into master requires approval and is prevented from deletion and force pushing. And then I changed to make develop the base branch, and develop only has the restriction that you can't force push and you can't delete the branch. But this can't approve your own pull request. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You don't necessarily have to do it, because if it's your own and you have the power to merge it, you just merge it. But yeah, that's that, and you know, the description, the get ignore, the readme. I mean, this is awesome. And so then if I close this and it looks like I've done stuff, had to help bring groceries in. Hey, good on you, man. Good on you. And then if I refresh, if I close that and I refresh it, does it? Huh. It doesn't, Huh. Oh, what is changes in pull request? Oh, I didn't even notice this one down here. That's files and commits, but I wonder, like, why does it not? I guess it did update the icon. Exit review mode. Yeah. Is that what I want to do? Asherina says there's a Bitbucket plugin for PRs, but it doesn't look anywhere near as nice. Interesting. Bitbucket PRs. I use Bitbucket with clients and whatnot. So, huh. Oh, you know what? Um, oh, or your buckets. Okay, your server instance. Okay, because there are, believe it or not, there's still people that are using like on-prem self-hosted Bitbucket servers, not, which is different than Bitbucket Cloud. This is cool. Yeah, very cool. That'll be, I'll be checking that out off stream. See if I can get that working for a project that I'm doing. Thank you, Escherina. That's awesome. All right, let's see here. So, okay, we're done with this. I'm done with this. We know what we have to do. Yeah, it's gonna say something about that. I think we're good now. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create the other buckets, which we're gonna create two more buckets and tables. Hang on. That's for workspace. That's in it. So global, we'll use that and that. I think that's how I want to do that. We'll create. Yeah. But then this. Is that where I? Yeah. That works. So, right here we're gonna have to create a new workspace, and I think instead of calling that in it, we're just gonna make that a better name because it's not in it. Ops. It's. I think we. I named it wrong, but. Oops. Global ops. Global TF state. Workspace. TF state. And then a logs bucket. I want to create that. Just have that under control. A Discord server or anything in this dev community uses, not specific for my channel. I'm in a bunch of Discord channels for other streams, but we haven't set one up. Just because I probably, poor spelling, unsubscribe. I probably won't be able to keep up with it, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. But for now, for like feature requests or anything like that, we've got that the GitHub repo that people can use. We're not going to put any code in there. At the moment, it's just kind of for issues and things like that for, hey, I wish a stream did this, but I haven't set up anything like that. I don't think I would be able to keep up with it quite yet. Okay, so let's say set up global, we'll say set up workspace buckets is the next thing that we're going to want to do. I know we're going to do a logs one too, but whatever. It's all good. So space sources. That's close enough. There we go. So we'll want to be working in deploy. And there's init. We want another. Too many discords. Yeah, and I'm in a bunch of them. I've given up all hope of even keeping up. So I miss stuff all the time. And then, things are added to like entire channels, and I spend enough time trying to curate the Slack channels, which, by the way, I should kill Slack, because it's probably going to kill my computer. It's a hog. Kill that too. But yeah, to manage notification settings, to make sense for me, for my Slack channels, and then have to go in there and do it for Discord, it's just like, I could spend 10 hours a week just trying to curate that crap. Alright. But, Nikki Dubs, let me take a minute to ask why you're asking, though. I'm just curious what is it you're looking for that you think that you usually see with Discord? getting like connected up with the dev community more, or is like what's let me know what's kind of behind it. Then maybe we can work something out. Yes. I think I'll just yeah. We'll want global. Um, yeah, we'll want this. We'll want workspace. Just do that, right? Yeah, there we go. Oh, the dev community. Yeah, let's take that offline. Yeah, yesterday was pretty interesting. But yeah, just reach out to me. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Um, can help me get my resources together for sharing to people that like you, maybe like, hey, I didn't even know that there was stuff that wasn't gaming on Twitch. Where do I get started? That's those things that when you are doing a thing for a long time that you take for granted, is that there may be people who don't even like. Where would you like? Who's the one person? Who's the one person that you would start watching on a regular basis to learn about how the Twitch dev community works, learn how dev streaming works, what things, when do people stream, and how often, and what time of day, and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, one Pollux, hey, back at you. How are you? Doing good, doing good. Not really looking forward to shoveling some heavy wet snow, um, but that's for tomorrow. Not gonna happen today. Okay, cool. So we have this, and we're gonna go into our global. Um, yeah. Global Terraform. This is for all multi-account global resources. It's really nice that the stream is digital for you all, but the actual monitor shakes sometimes when I get typing kind of fast and crazy. Oh, and Pollux, yeah, winter is coming too. Yeah. Lana BR, it would be nice to have a central community place for discussions between all of the different channels. No Upcat, C Sharp Fritz, Robert Tables, Clark AO, No Botanist, Rambling Geek, etc. But that may be a giant community if everyone was one place, so the fragmentation can be positive as well. It is a little, I mean, it is a little tough, right? I mean, I think one of the reasons why, at least, okay, so at least for myself, one of the reasons why I ended up following so many different streamers is because they all offer a little piece of the pie, a little kind of something their flavor. And that also helped me figure out, okay, if I were to stream, what do I kind of know that might be missing out there? And then what would I like to learn that could be kind of fun along the way? And that helped me kind of carve out, and I'm still kind of defining this, but I just noticed that there was kind of a little bit of a need. But that said, even though they're pretty different, there are a lot of overlapping values and um, people that are streaming that learn from each other, and then people that would be new to streaming that would want to learn from others. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Landon BR. I mean, you make a really good point. Um, and then it becomes a management thing, right? How do you how are you active in there and helping people and moderation? Like, I mean, moderating your own live stream. I mean, it takes it's a set chunk of time that something happens, and you have rules and everything. But like an ongoing Twitch channel, it's kind of tough. All have like one main project. Bokjo, what do you mean? One main project? You mean like those various streamers have one main project? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's there's definitely stuff that's happening where as the community has grown, we're starting to notice, it's not necessarily needs, it's more wants, Lannaby are the only person I knew who did DevOps who I frequently follow was Adam, but it's DevOps. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, it's out of necessity to get Botland up off the ground, um, which I mean it was fun. I mean it was. I learned quite a few things by seeing him run into errors that I have not ever seen before, or using resources that I hadn't used. But there were some other things, especially at the very beginning. I was like, "Oh, yikes! That's gonna hurt! Yikes!" So, okay, so this is for all multi-account resources. For example, TF state buckets, S3 logging buckets, ECR repositories, and permissions. We're gonna have to get into that too. We gotta allow stuff to push and pull. Automation users and permissions, etc. Okay, that's good enough right now. And if we go to workspace, I want to add a little something about that too, so people know the difference. We'll do this. Area is for things that are by and large the same between different environments, but could have variable names, counts, values. For example, let me just check up here, right here. AWS. Yeah, I'm all AWS. That's the only thing that I do. That's a little different from. There's a lot of Azure stuff, and I have nothing against Azure, but my thing is. Ooh, very. Yeah. Nice. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Yep. That's gonna be a to-do for me, because I need to get myself on there, and I don't know if Rambling Geek is on there, and then I probably need a command for that. It's like, I don't want to just throw that out because it's different than the command that I was talking about before, which would be more of a very, very curated, get yourself on there. Yeah, exactly. I should. Well, I've been streaming now on a pretty regular basis, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, since I think the day after Christmas is the first time I did it. So December 26th. So I'm at least now on a habit. I don't know how long they say it takes to make or break a habit, but I'm actually pretty, comfortable doing it now. A curated command, yeah, bang curated. That would be cool, and then we could say bang streamers, and it would just kind of post that thing that's like, these are the awesome developer streams, or something similar. Y'all can make some issues while I'm doing my stuff if you want, because I think these are fantastic ideas. So these ideas are the things that I like in there. Landon BR actually talked with. Yeah, we're gonna try to figure out the coordination of streaming. I think is it's something that's very difficult, and we're not going to be able to solve most of the problems, but we'll probably be able to ease a little bit of pain. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. I want to get this browser off here because it keeps coming up. So let me finish my thought here real quick. So the workspace area, for example, dev and prod have the same thing. EC2 Bastion in a VPC, EC2 server, networking, auto scaling. And then the difference could come as size of EC2 server. Oh shit, the other one. Hang on. Keys of EC2 Bastion. Those will be different. You don't want to use the same keys to get into a prod Bastion and a dev Bastion, right? Then also what could differ is, well, of course, the networking VPC CIDR to avoid overlapping blocks. What happens is you can't, for a lot of things that you do, which is peering, transit gateway attachments, VPN attachments back to on-prem, you can't have overlapping CIDR blocks. So you can't just make everything like a 10.0.0.0, because then you'll never have the opportunity in the future to peer those together or do anything, because you'll have routing problems. So that would be another instance where you would say dev is going to be 10.1 and prod is going to be 10.2, right? So that's a variable thing, but in general, it's the same in your environments. It's just it's a definition of a variable, and you want to use workspaces to avoid a lot of duplication. So the other one would be auto scaling rules, metrics, desired counts. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so let's just review. The workspace area is the thing where, like in this, the workspace area is, these things will have different names of stuff. Things will be named. And like if you had an S3 bucket in here for a thing, it's going to have a different name than here, because S3 buckets are named globally unique. You couldn't have something called GraphQL logs in both. You have to have unique ones. So you do GraphQL logs dash dev, GraphQL logs dash prod, whatever. So those are variables that would change. So naming variables, also metrics around like how you would want your cluster to scale to handle load. Like your production one should be initially ready for probably a differently sized load than your develop, and it should also have maybe different maximums compared to your develop. So these are things like that. Yeah, LANBR, it's gonna be epic. I mean, I really like the aspect of like made like for development streamers by development streamers, and then everyone else who's not actually a streamer will get benefit too, because it's like those tools that they use to organize conferences and figure out which things you want to go to and the time blocks and all of that, or like the TV guide. Remember the old TV guide? Like it used to even just sit there and scroll on. Well, it used to be in print, but you'd like try to highlight and map out, and like people would claim certain slots and say, like, you know, I used to do that when I was a kid. Me and my sister would fight about that, but we'd say, okay, from 5 to 6 I get to pick whatever show, and then from 6 to 7 you get to pick whatever show, and I have to make sure it doesn't overlap and it's something I want to watch, and hopefully something that she doesn't want to watch, because siblings are like that. That's kind of how that goes. So yeah, so that's the difference between workspace type stuff and global type stuff. So that's what we kind of segregate those, and we have their state managed in different places. So this is what we're doing. Okay, so And I'm 90% convinced that most people watch me because they just like me fumbling around on the keyboard and whatnot. Which, by the way, what happened to keyboard cam? What happened to keyboard cam? Hang on. Hang on. Where'd you go? Hang on. I think I can bring. Oh, I moved the USB port. Let's see. Oh, keyboard cam is back. Why didn't anyone say anything? Been doing all this stuff. Okay. So, let's say we're gonna do some global bucket backend. Well, okay. We gotta do that backend first. We'll do. I'm writing on my on task workspace bucket, and then we'll do this thing's. We'll do that. So, work on that first. Nice, you covered the VS Code update notification. Oh, yeah, not today. No, I didn't. It's not really that big of a deal. All right, with that, we've got a plan of action. I'm going to take a short break. It is 12:48. We're 2 minutes to the Pomodoro, which I do want to, I do want to at some point when I get there, when I can figure out anything, do a little Pomodoro thing. Was pretty cool. Was about to screw. Covered it up. Gone. Put that away. So, okay. I'm going to take a short break. I encourage you to do the same thing. We'll be back, and when we get back, we are going to make that bucket, that table, merge all that stuff in so it's nice and clean, and then we'll do the ECR registry, which is going to require a little bit of tweaking to our current existing GraphQL API and server, but that's all Docker stuff. That's pretty easy to do. I'll also show you how you do the authentication to ECR. It does actually use like Docker. Oh yeah, sorry. I should probably show. This is what I'm talking about. When I get back, this exists, this exists. We're going to then set this as the backend for global, and using global, we'll create these two and that guy. And then we'll create these ones. And then we'll fix up our Docker stuff to push to it. We're just moving down, knocking this stuff off. Landon BR, yeah, I enjoy the way you do breaks. It's good to get up every half hour to hour rather than, yeah, and, I like to move around, use the restroom, make sure, kids aren't killing each other and all that. And it's a lot easier for the audience as well if they have, needs to do whatever, that there's a nice kind of defined break. So yeah, we're going on break. I'll see you back here in probably about 5 minutes. I don't know if that was exactly 5 minutes, but it was enough to stretch around and how to get another beer. Saturday, getting ready for game day, man. It's a big one, big game. Catch up on here. Rambling Geek. Well, well, well. Just in time, my friend. Let me catch up right quick here. Riley Dom, love that pause screen. Yeah, it was inspired by The Outer Limits. It was a TV show that was, it was like the pre-Black Mirror, post Twilight Zone. That was on, I don't know, was that like late 90s or so? It was really cool. And in fact, there was a ride at Kings Island in Ohio, and I don't know if it's still there, but it was called the Outer Limits Flight of Fear. It was an indoor, like it was indoor. It was enclosed. It was really dark, and it was really fast. It had this relatively new for its time, this maglev launch from a stationary setting position that was flat, and you had to put your head back against the headrest because it had a really crazy like 0 to whatever takeoff time, and you could actually get hurt if you didn't. But yeah, that's what the screen is for. Glad you like it. Let's see, Rambling Geek. Okay, buddy. Let's switch here. All right, hang on. We'll move this over here. Let's see. Here. Yeah. All right. So, you got a goal. I know you got a goal. Where can I see? All right, you are at 39. I want you all to go follow right now. If you're not following Rambling Geek, go give Rambling Geek a follow. In Rambling Geek, if you tweet something out, I'm gonna retweet it, and I want everybody to retweet it. I want to get Rambling Geek to 50 followers. I was waiting for you to come in, Rambling Geek. Sorry, that's why I hadn't done this before. Whoa, this is ooh, Hall of Mirrors. Yep, nice, Esharina. Thank you very much. I have really enjoyed collaborating with Rambling Geek back and forth. We talk on Twitter quite a bit, helping each other iterate and improve since we're brand new streamers and there's a lot of stuff we don't know, and we kind of figure stuff out. Yeah, rubber tables all the way down. Yeah. Streamception. So yes, please do go give Rambling Geek a follow. It costs you nothing. The only thing is you'll get alerted. You'll be identified as a follower, so you know you're part of the community, and it really helps support their goals of getting to Twitch affiliate, which unlocks all kinds of cool stuff like subscriber emotes and custom badges, and then you can do giveaways, and there's all kinds of awesome stuff, and it's still, you know, it's still one of those things. 9 more stars till get. Yeah, I think. I don't remember who I was watching yesterday. It may have been Avada I was catching up on, but they were talking. Maybe it was Clarkio. Was talking about what in the hell happened, and it was because they had set this goal on Twitter of like, hey, go star us. And those things, you know, they work and they help with visibility. And if you really like what someone's doing and you want to encourage what they're doing, and it really costs you nothing to do it, it's a good idea. Because while, you know, we're all friends here, and sometimes, you know, people that already kind of know us, they come in, they support us, and they follow us and subscribe and all of that stuff, your profile becomes more top of mind to people who aren't used to you, and it's a psychological thing that maybe it's like, oh, well, you know, if you pop into one stream and like they're on a break, or it's a stream that's going poorly, then it's like, pass, right? But if it's a stream that has a lot of activity generally and is pretty popular, then it's easier to say, well, maybe it's just this one stream, but I'm going to click follow and stick around and check them out more and more, and really see if if this is a thing I could get into. So, okay, we were? Oh yeah. That's squirrel. Squirrel. Okay. In our global, okay, where are we at? Global, we're gonna need a, for now, I know the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do S3 buckets. Okay. But we do want in here, how do we want to do it? Yeah, that's what I want to do. I think we already did that. I think we just need a bucket. I think we just need, yeah, that's all we're going to do. So for the S3 buckets, we're going to want backend, and we're going to want, what are we going to name this? Naming things is hard. What are we going to name this? We'll name it, look at what we're naming everything else here. Say stream GraphQL workspace .tf, yeah. Okay, cool. So we got these. I could have just named this main, but we're going to create more buckets, and I found that bucket files start including like a bunch of stuff like bucket policies and stuff like that. We're going to want, maybe we're not, I'll wait for that duplication to arise if we need a variables file. Yeah. So in your backend, and it's kind of similar to how we had even done this in it, is we're going to need to create the provider for the backend, but then we're also going to have to say what is my backend state? Like what bucket am I pointing my state to? And we don't have to do anything with a table because we're just going to provide a table key, and the table already exists with that key, so we don't have to, like, we're not provisioning a table. This gets different when you're actually in the workspace. You actually want to use the table and specify a new lock for that thing with a different key for the identified to the workspace, because you don't. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Trust me. We'll get there. So our provider is AWS, and what version do we have in here? What version are we on? 155. So I'm just going to stick us at 155. So, so close enough. Is US East 2? Really, that's all we have to do right now. So I'm going to authenticate real quick. So I have to source my bash profile that contain, whoops, BazRC, and I'll assume stream. Let's see which one I have. What did I call it? I called it stream deployer ops. Stream deployer ops. Now that should work. Invalid profile. I think I ran into this last time. Why did I not fix that? Okay, now we get to debug live on stream. Isn't that fun? see what happened here. Invalid profile. Profile is invalid. Why that? Well, if I do stream deployer, which is not based on yeah, so that's fine. So let me see why my config is messed up, and I'm gonna have to do this off stream. So sorry. Actually, I'll just do it here, and I'll put my secret screen up. So give me just 1 second. Let me see what's going on. I probably typoed something stupid. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I got it figured out. Okay, sorry about that. All right. I got it sorted. I got confused. Okay. Now, maybe that means I don't actually need this. Let me try doing that. It should, I think it should pick that up. That is a nice thing to have configurable though. But you usually use your environment to determine that. Okay, I want to be stream deployer. US S3LS. Looks good. Cool. So since I'm in here, let's do a Terraform validate real quick. Yep. And so if you run into this error, this is because we're inside a new file, or in a new directory, and we have declared a provider. But there's no, if you notice the difference, there's no .terraform file here. We're not working in this directory anymore. We're in a whole different directory, and you're going to need a .terraform file which contains the plugin for the provider that we just declared. And so all you do is just say terraform init, and it's going to say, I want to be 155. Where is 155? Downloaded it. It could be a more advanced, a higher version. 1.5, yeah. But yeah, you have to do that. So now that we're in there, now we can run the Terraform like validate and all of that. Oh, I'm gonna have to look up what that was, but that's fine. So now this is more of a Terraform specific thing. This is not AWS specific, but I'm using AWS S3 and Dynamo as my backend state. But you can use other stuff. So we'll say I'm going to lock it down to the version that I know that works. So we'll say required version. Because then later when you bump stuff, like you can make an effort to upgrade. So I know that Terraform 0.12 is getting pretty mature, but it's not released yet. But when they release it, it has some breaking changes. So when you get your stuff working, you want to kind of keep that locked down, and then later maybe you go and experiment with bumping it and seeing what breaks or whatever. It's all the same in the Node world. It's all software development. You know, it's just how it goes. So we'll say 0.11.10, and we'll be good. Now we'll say our backend is of type S3. I already have. I can just copy this. Yeah. Okay. I think this should work. And it did this. I think that's all totally fine. And the table is named that. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're segregating this off to contain state specifically for the S3 related stuff that we're creating. We'll do that for kind of a lot of these different things. And I don't want that. I want it to be this. I do want it encrypted. I called the Dynamo table. What did I call that? If Gekkitsu was here, they would clip me. That's what I called it. Nope, I called it that, which is probably the same, because I probably just copied it. No. So we'll do this. We'll call it S3 state. That's true. Nope, this is the table. And the bucket is what I was looking for. So that's the table, ops terraform lock. The Dynamo table is ops terraform lock. There's the key. Then the actual bucket itself is up here, and it had this name. That's my bucket that I need. Buckets. Okay. And since we're editing the backend, if we were to run anything in here, it would do the same thing as the other folder did, is it would store this Terraform state locally. But now we're defining a backend, and it's going to say, well, you have to reinitialize. So, and it's initializing. We didn't create anything new, though. We're referencing a bucket that already existed. And we can verify that real quick, just to take a look at what does that look like. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to authenticate real quick. Log in, as it were. It's a multi-factor thing, though. So, let's see. That is what I want to open. And we have to, multi-factor. One sec. This is why I bought that number pad, really, because I have to do this so often. Okay. We're in. And we want to go to Stream Ops. I could show this part, I think. There we go. Alright, we want to go to Stream Ops. That's my account. We should. Whoops. Oh, hang on. I authenticated to the wrong original IM user. Give me one sec. I only have one monitor. Yeah, no, I have two. I can do that. I thought it was. If it's not weird having me look over at this monitor doing stuff, then we're totally fine with that. I'm fine with that. Now I have the laptop and I have the two. But yeah, that's all good. We can do this. Just to look at a weird angle of my weird head and headphones. Forgot that I was actually doing this on my employer's account. I logged into my own. And now that's why I want to do it. Secrets. Okay. That's why I want to do it, because I have the keyboard cam. So I have to be careful about that. Because I don't want people watching what I'm typing for passwords and whatnot, if that makes sense. And that's also why I don't have, that's also why I don't have the number pad in view if I'm actually using it to type in multi-factor. Okay, so we're in Stream Ops. Free stuff, yeah, good luck. Don't worry, I have many rules. So here's S3. In our region, in this account. That's our bucket. Perfect. Now, when we actually do a thing, we'll come back to this, and you'll see that like there will actually be stuff in this global state that we created. But we haven't created anything yet. It just kind of initialized locally that, hey, we're going to use that thing to store your stuff when you do a thing. So, now we can do a thing. Alright, so there was that in the back end, so we have that defined for S3, so we have that back end. Okay, now we gotta do this bucket. Let's, and what are those, I'm trying to see what that, I think that's what that looked like. That's pretty simple. Yeah, that's not bad. AWS S3 bucket. We're going to call this one is the workspace. What do we call the other bucket? I want to keep the naming. Yep. So we'll do it kind of like that, but we'll do workspace. Just take the same name, I think it works. Hopefully it's not taken. It is going to be private. There's no reason that you'd want this bucket open to the world, and there's a very good reason why you never want it. We do want versioning. So this is an AWS S3 thing. This is versioning on your objects. It doesn't keep it forever. It doesn't keep unlimited, but I think by default it keeps like maybe 10 revisions, and you can even delete revisions. You can delete things and then restore them because they're only soft deleted. So yeah, check out S3 versioning. It's pretty cool. We want that. We want prevent destroy, life cycle, prevent destroy. Because we would never want this bucket destroyed. This, like, we're always going to be just changing things in the bucket. Or maybe attributes about the bucket, but we'll never destroy this. It'll just hang around forever. And we do want encryption. And I always just copy and paste this because it's always going to be the same. And when I'm saving, there's actually a linting rule that's running, and it's like a prettier for Terraform. It's available through the official like Terraform plugin, which is nice because things get sloppy. And we want some tags. So we're naming that tags. We'll probably want some outputs on this too. We might get into that. Okay, so name tag is Terraform workspace remote state. It's just a name. You can pick whatever you want. The Mike Jolly. Good morning. It's not morning here, but hey, good morning. How are you doing? We're just doing some more progress on our little bit more complicated Terraform example than a lot of the tutorials do. We gotta do it for real. Do it for real. Rambling Geek, how are you looking? The Mike Jolly, by the way, I'm challenging. Please pop over and give Rambling Geek a follow if you have not given them a follow. There is a goal of 50. Hit that. Let's hit that 50. This weekend, Rambling Geek is going to hit affiliate. Environment, we're going to just say what this is, but later that environment tag is going to be really useful when we get into using workspaces, because we'll make this variable. And when you create a resource in dev versus a resource in prod, it'll end up getting an environment that says dev or prod. Fun times. And managed is Terraform version 0.11.0. That's going to be something that we'll probably pull out, just because typing strings is slower than typing variables. But now let's do it. Hang on. There we go. Is that back? Are we back? Wow, that's interesting. It muted after the follow notification. Huh. What the hell? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Isn't that weird? I don't even... Okay, well. What the hell was I saying? Oh, I think I was saying, welcome to this very high production channel. If you're curious and you have questions, post down there in the chat. Very helpful community of developers of different levels, friends. Should work now, hopefully. Okay. So we'll do a validate real quick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do we still have audio? Bokjo, thank you very much for the follow. Let's see how long the actual mic lasts. Are we still on? Are we still on? Does it still sound good? Still going, I guess. And then right about here, I would be saying, thank you for the follow. Please post a blah, 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 and all of that. And we're still going. So, yeah. This is pretty arbitrary, folks. I don't know what's going on. Ghosts in the machine. Okay. Bokjo, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the test. I appreciate that. Heck, that's confusing. Okay, so our terraform is valid. So let's plan it out. Now this is where we actually are going to be creating a thing. And this is in the global. So I want to create a bucket with a name. And plan one to add. One to add, it's going to give me some tags up here. Server-side encryption rule. The region is computed. Yeah, looks good. Let's do it. Now again, this is a step where like it's kind of going to go through the same thing it just said, and then it's going to sit there waiting on you to enter yes. If you go through a plan and it takes a while, that's fine, you come back. If you go through and apply, it still takes a while, and then you'll come back to your computer and it's still waiting on you. So, there we go, yes. And if we get this part done, I think it would be a good time to make a commit. So, apply complete. We can hit, we can do a Terraform show, and it should show us a kind of a here's what I know about your state. Your state has a bucket with those properties. So let's go in the UI, and let's see. It should be updated with some stuff. There we go. So there's, now it looks like a folder. It's not a folder. It's all key value storage. The difference is that they render it like a folder, but the prefix is part of the key name. So S3/. It's not really, that's not how this file system works on S3. But inside of here, you could see I have my Terraform state file in here. So yeah, it just made a thing. Clarkio is now hosting me. Thank you very much for the host, buddy. I appreciate it. You're the best. It's always nice to get a host. Some people don't know. I have some auto host stuff set up too. For if I'm not streaming, I might as well host a fellow streamer, or if I'm watching a streamer, it's real easy to pop my channel open and hit that /host command in there, and maybe expose some other people to some really cool streamers. So Clarkio is another one I think y'all would really enjoy following. So very entertaining stream, has an IoT chat controlled light bulb. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff, I think. So all right, let's see. What did we make? We made we got this going. We're good. We made that, but I wonder, don't, no, it wouldn't have, it wouldn't have made a new table. It would have added an entry in the existing global table that we said to use for ops. So here's the table. There it is. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Right here, you could see I now have a lock ID that was entered for the S3 specific stuff, and I called it S3 state. So, good. We're on the way. Dirtiran, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. I have a project where we basically manage everything manually, so we create an AMI, an autoscale, and launch config, and use code deploy to deploy the new version. I would really like to look into something to take all of this out of a README. If anyone has any suggestions, I would appreciate it, because for now, I only played around with Docker for a bit. Well, yeah, a couple of technologies you're going to want to look into is I'm not necessarily sure where Docker fits into this for you for your application, but when it comes into the problem I'm reading of the AMI creation, the auto scaling rules, the launch config, and even code deploy to deploy a new version, you should look into Terraform and Packer. Packer for creating your AMIs. Instead of spin up an instance and manually configure a bunch of crap and take a snapshot and whatnot, Packer is another tool from HashiCorp, just like Terraform, that's designed like specifically to do exactly what you're saying. And Terraform is the way of getting that crap out of your README, because if you look, it's an incredibly readable syntax. So I have a resource that is of type AWS S3 bucket, and I can command click to follow the link in VS Code to the documentation for an S3 bucket. So I can find out what are the attributes, what's an example of its usage, how do you set it up for static web hosting, how do you set up cores, versioning, logging, object lifecycle to save you some money, replication, server-side encryption. Like, this is the stuff where it's like you just kind of copy paste some stuff when you got it figured out. But then there's all the arguments that it can possibly take, as well as the attributes. If I could find the attributes. Attributes reference. So these are all the things, once you create it, you can get these as outputs that you can then use to pipe into other Terraform scripts that would need to know these values. Yeah, I only knew Docker to create stuff container, but it would be a huge step to migrate everything. Yeah, I mean, what I would say is baby steps, man. I would say baby steps. I would say take a look at the most pressing problem and then think deeply about it. And ask the question behind the question. Why is this our most pressing problem? Is it taking too much manual time from developers that could be doing other things? Does it introduce too much human error? Is it unreliable? Does it flake out and fail sometimes? Is it hard to teach to new engineers coming on board? Is it hard to report success or failure or progress or status or performance and things like that? So those are all kind of like, those are those questions that back this is a problem. And the answer to those questions could result in very different solutions. That's just how I look at it after a while. And it makes it a lot easier to communicate to the people who would have the yes or no, go, no go authority and an understanding of the business needs, the timing, and the money to either make a project like that get off the ground and get going, or say, not right now. It makes it easier to have a conversation when you don't talk nerd to the people that don't necessarily understand it. So it's frustrating. You know, I've worked with CTOs that are not really that highly technical. They were more on the business side, and it's tough because as developers, you know, we have a speak. We have a realm of the stuff that we know, and we're like, you can't do that. That's dumb because, and the because that we say, it doesn't necessarily fall on deaf ears. It might, but they don't really understand it. Packer and something about Ansible. Yeah, Packer can leverage Ansible for doing like configuration of a machine that would be using an AMI. But yeah, Packer is different. You should go check it out. Terraform Packer would be where I would search. It's just another one of those products, and their documentation is going to be the same thing. Nikki Dubs, this is me every meeting. What part? Talking nerd and nobody really understanding? I've been there, man. And it's tough and it's frustrating. It's tough from the level of you have to try to learn how to convey things in a way that are not really inherently your way of doing things, and you have to have the patience to do that. I mean, if you were to say, if I were to say, no, we should not be using any of the T family instant types for things that we want to autoscale. That's a thing I know, and I actually know the real reason to explain it. But if I just blanket say stop doing that because that's dumb, that's not really, you know, it's not going to get the message across, right? There are really good questions. I think I will talk with the team about this. Thanks a lot, and I will look into it and report back. Yeah, that's That's what we're here for, you know. I don't know a lot of things, but some if I know a thing, or maybe I can help you get your mind in a different direction for approaching a problem, then that's what I want to do. You know, I just want to help out so that maybe that next conversation, if you approach it from a slightly different way, maybe you get better results and you internally become less frustrated with just that you're always hitting that brick wall, you know. Sometimes it just takes somebody outside the picture to help to help. So we know that we created this. I think this would be a good time to take a review and commit this because it's a pretty important bucket. So let's do this. We're gonna. We'll hold off on that. Let's see where we're at. Nope. Let's close because we already did that. Let's see. Heck. Okay, let's make sense of this. I'm not doing this. What did we do? We did first. We did. Let's do the workspace one first because that's pretty easy. That one. Well, we'll just hang on. We don't even need that, do we? We don't need that one. And we don't need that because we already have a thing in it. Cool. So let's do the workspace readme. Yep. So we'll do the workspace readme first. Say add description of workspace space tf state concept. Close enough. And then here we did the same thing where we said add description of global tf state concept. We don't need that. Why is that still there? Yeah, we don't need it. Go away. Go away. Go away. All right. Backend and workspace. Okay, so then this was configure S3 space to use global backend remote state. Close enough. Okay, so create S3 bucket and Dynamo. I don't want to. I'll just call it a sub key for state locking. Yeah. Yeah, close enough. And then if I say push. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I guess you could just do all of that through the UI. That's interesting. Heck yeah. Alright. Cool. Alright. So, do another one. Do develop. Create it. Okay, this adds the next step to unlock dev versus prod environment setup using Terraform workspaces. Cool. Lana BR. So I'm thinking of using Code Sandbox for my Gatsby talk on Tuesdays so people on any machine can get started without needing to have to download any dependency. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The only thing maybe where's your talk? Where, like, what location wise, where is your Gatsby talk? Alright, good, good. We got that done. Now that we're done with that and that, let's see where we're at. I know I've had a lot of TED Talks go on today. So that and that is done. I'm going to hold off on this. Let's get started on the ECR stuff. We do want to do that. Oh, at a local meetup. Okay, so the only reason why I said that is that and maybe they have a great offline mode, but you're pretty dependent on not just presenting, but people working, having a reliable internet connection in that room all at the same time. That would be my only hesitation of using Code Sandbox type, like online IDE type things. But I mean, it's probably gonna be fine. I don't know. If you have like bad Wi-Fi, everybody's gonna be not having a good time. All right, before we get started on the ECR thing, we're gonna take another short 5-minute break, and we'll get that area of the code set up. So I'll be back with you in about 5 minutes. Yep. Hey, I'm back. Is my mic still working? Nice. Oh, let's see. I got that fiber. Are we talking internet here? Because fiber's pretty important for your diet too, and whatnot. All right. where were we? Let's see. We got that. We got that one done. Let's say we did the workspace bucket. We did. I'm not gonna do that. We'll do the ECR stuff. Let's do ECR. 100 down. Yeah, but when you're streaming, it's the up. It's the up that matters, let me tell you, and the latency. So we're gonna do 2 repos on ECR, and then we'll probably do permissions. Maybe. I don't know that we're going to really need them right now, but we're for sure right now going to be making two of them. So real quick, let's revisit what we actually have going on here. I can close some of this so it's a little easy. It's easier. So what's happening here is our API server is going to build the default Docker file that's contained in this folder DB for the API. And that Docker file looks like this. We're just going to pull from Alpine, we make a work directory, copy the package JSON and the package lock JSON into that directory, install quiet, expose a port, have a default command, npm run develop. We need to change that. Yeah, we need to change that. Because we can override the command with our local Docker compose, which is fine. But when we are pushing a thing that we're going to be pulling down to an environment, you don't want to do that. So let's do a branch real quick. Out-b fix Docker for ECR. You guys don't mind if we go ahead and fix this up, right? 6 follows away. Rambling Geek, 6 follows away. Thank you everyone in this channel that went ahead and gave Rambling Geek a follow. We're that close. Rambling Geek, did you tweet a thing out? Let me know when you do. I want to see if you did, because we need to get some love. Put a Rambling Geek, throw a tweet out there, and I'll tweet it, and we'll see if we can get some retweets and some visibility up in the community. Yeah, man, that's what we do. Yep, that's what we do. That's what we do. So we're gonna fix Docker for ECR right now, where we want to remove the default commands that run it in kind of a develop mode. We at least. Now, later, we'll talk about maybe the build prod and things like that. But for now, we'll fix this up. So this one here, the default command in here, we'll look at the package JSON, should be, yeah, the only difference, really, we'll do start. It's going to be really similar. Of course I did that. Except we're not going to watch it, right? And really, we may not end up needing a lot of this other stuff, to be honest. Let me look up the docs on this real quick, though. I'm still JSON server npm. I know there's a way that it can expect different stuff. Just to start. Hello. JSON server. That's how you. Oh, you say. Watch. I don't think you really have to. That's routes. That's. Watch. There's ports. Alright, we're gonna have to make sure this works. Alright, I'm gonna need this a little bit bigger here. So let's say we change. Well, yeah, we'll save this for now, but we'll actually go in here and say that it's gonna be we don't need a command at all right here for now. We'll just build it. We'll tag it GraphQL GraphQL API dash API, so it's easier to filter. We're just going to build this container, and then we're going to run it when it's not really going to do anything, and we'll figure out what is the command that we do that just actually just gets the server going, but isn't really like watching. I don't want it in watch mode. That's the thing. It's going to be problematic to kill bad containers. Watch mode is great when you're doing local dev. And also, we need to copy in db.json here, because we were overlaying that right here in Docker Compose. So we need to actually alter the Docker file to do this. Okay, so let me add some comments. So install no dependencies. Copy over the db.json. Copy, and we're right there, so it's relative. Maybe it's like that. See if that works. Let's build it again. Cool. Yeah. Get off the screen. There. You off. ls, and we'll grep for GraphQL API. Yep. So we'll Docker run. Docker. Yeah. Interactive terminal. Remove it when we're done. The GraphQL API, and we'll execute shell when we do it. Okay. So we're in the container now. The container's running now. We've got our JSON file in there. We've got the package lock. We've got all the node modules that we need. This is built into the image. It was copied in. Everything's good. Now, if we do npm run, what do we call it? Start. Yep, here we go. Oh, you have to, oh. So here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. So it looks like JSON server needs an argument of what is the thing to start. Yeah, right here. So this is an example. You run JSON server against that file, and I didn't do that. So we need to do that. So we'll say npm start, and what that's going to do is it's going to just call the start. We can make this more explicit by saying npm run start, but if you go ahead and use the keywords provided by npm, like test, there's a few others. It knows how to do it, and then there's like pre and post and all those nice things. But now we're going to run npm start, and it's going to run into the same problem. And so what we need to do is pass an argument to the thing in here, and the way that you do that with npm is you do dash, and then you could say db dot, I think we called it that. Perfect. So we should be running on port 3000, and I won't be able to hit that on my machine because I didn't expose any ports. So let's do that right now. So, do the same command, but do dash P 3000 to 3000 for the port mapping, and that should work. And then in here, and we can't hit the up arrow. It's not. I don't think it's a whole new thing. It's not going to remember. npm run start dash dash db.json. So that's working, and I should be able to hit it. So let's try and do that. And it works. So this is now exposed to my Mac, and I'm hitting inside that container that's running this in the correct way. That's just using that DB file. So let's make that happen in the container. So we'll just put db.json here, and there's no watch. For now, I'm going to leave this until... I'm just going to leave that for now because it's working. I guess the only difference is there's a watch command. So really, we could make this a lot nicer and remove a little bit of duplication too, to be honest. But I won't do that now. I don't want to clutter up our commit. I want like focus commits that you could pull up and be like, this will teach you how to X. And then we could do stuff later. Cool. I'm good with this. Ship it. Oh, and then the Docker container ls. So it's not running. But I have a lot that... Man, I need... Container prune. Heck. Got a lot of crap going on. Okay, we're good. Okay, so that one's cleaned up. Cool. Let's take a look at the server. So, the GraphQL server. So, we're doing the same thing. We're going into the server directory. We're taking the default Docker file name, since we're not naming it, and building that with an image name, starting a container with a name, doing a command, mapping a volume, exposing some ports. Depends on is a linkage thing. The Docker container itself doesn't care about that. This is more of a composition thing. The health check, again, composition and orchestration, the container doesn't really care, except for the fact that it is responsible for exposing somehow a health check. So into the Docker file for this, node index, which this one's perfect actually. No, we did this one right. It just says node index. Huh. I was a little smarter on this, so we don't have to change anything with this. Cool. Cool. Commit it. One thing though, well, let's add these changes. So this is going to be we'll say fix JSON server API for image push to ECR. That's fine. A thing that I do kind of want to do real quick while we're in here is I want to add some Docker ignore files. So let's just do that real quick while we're in here, if you guys don't mind. It's got to get done. So we'll touch .docker ignore here, and then we'll go into called it server. Yeah. Alright, so let's focus on this. It's by and large going to be the same thing. Yeah. So, Docker ignore. So, first off, we don't need this, even in our repo. Delete. Bye, Felicia. That one's gone. The next thing that Docker's not really going to care about is it's not going to care about all your hidden folders and your files and stuff. So, if we look in here, this is cool. We could probably say don't copy in the Docker file, right? We don't want that copied in. And that is, let's see, what else are we copying in? JSON. Yeah, this. That's better. So we just copy everything, and then we say what to not copy. Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, we don't want that. I'm fearless, exactly. I was just getting to that. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Let's copy everything and then ignore the crap that we don't need, right? You're exactly. We're tracking. We're tracking. You know what I'm doing. We don't want node. Node modules. We also don't want, and I don't have it here, but I will set it up here soon. Maybe not today, but at some point. We also don't want .vs code. Also a thing. So yeah, we're listing the files here, but if you list all of them, so we don't need. No, we're good. We're good. Sorry, I was thinking of a different repository structure where the other one that's good to add is the whole .get folder, because if you're working on a project that like is a kind of a old unmanaged like mess of crap, you want to ignore that .get folder. Otherwise, when you do a copy dot to copy everything over, it will pull over the .get folder. You don't want that in your container. You don't care. Your containers aren't really based on get at build time. Aside from that, copy dot. And if we had already copied these, then I don't think we need to copy those over either. Yeah. So we can ignore these two. And we really would only end up getting this. But if we add other stuff, if we had a different DB.json file that was different, it would come over. It would come over with it. You don't have to worry about it. So you're basically saying, give me everything, but I'm going to tell you what to ignore. As opposed to, I'm going to tell you explicitly everything to bring over. Which will add up image layers, because every one of those copy commands is an image layer, and you want to strive for very tiny images. So yeah, I like it. One nice thing. So let's update that, and then we'll do the same for the server. And we'll just do that all as one commit. It's fine. We also don't want JSON or package.json. And it should still work fine. Okay. Optimize Docker image with ignores. Well, for API server. Close enough. Okay. I think we had the same thing in server. Right. So, node modules, Docker file. We don't need get keep again. Same thing. Just really need to be better about my hygiene on some of this stuff, right? Heck. All right. Also, lock.json package.json. don't need that either. We have stuff in all the folders. Yep, we do a dot dot. I'm gonna ignore this. I want this. Oh, yeah, we don't need that. Don't need it. We do want this. We want this. Ignoring. We want it. Ignore, ignore. This is good. Optimize Docker image with for GraphQL server. Why is this hanging on me? What the hell? That was weird. I don't know what that just did. Hope I didn't break it. Would we actually test it before we push it? No. That's not what we do here. Let me see. Let's see. Alright, Rambling Geek. If y'all are not connected on here to be able to see that tweet, please give that a retweet. If you can, if you're on the Twitters. YOLO. YOLO. I'm not really deploying anything, I'm just pushing an image. I don't have to push an image that works. Like, that's ops, you know? Alright, I think we're good. Push it. This concerns me, though. What is it doing? Large files detected. Failed to push. Yeah, what is going on with this? Hang on. What is... What is going on, though? I don't need that. Or that. So. Is it that? Did I mess that up? That should not result in a bunch of freaking things being written, though. What's this actually look like up here? That concerns me. I don't know why it was... That was not that much changed. We're on... What are we on? Oh, it didn't push my branch. Because something failed. Didn't push my branch because something failed. Out. Just get rid of that. So it was this one. Where's the GraphQL server? What is... How do I see what is pending to be pushed? But I have to use a different tool. It's okay. We'll do it. What is that error? What is what it was trying to do? Why was it failing? Writing objects, writing objects, writing objects. It seems like a lot of objects. Why would it change that many things? Wait. Wait a minute. No, that can't be right. It's not true. What was it trying to... Oh! Oh, I got it. Got him. I looked a little closer. I think there's something going on. There. Hang on. Hang on. Oh shit. This is bad. This is real bad. This is real bad. So I deleted a get ignore. And I committed fucking everything. I thought it was that get keep. So I wonder if we can go back in time here. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, we're gonna try and do this. We're gonna roll back time. With this tool that hopefully will work. Open a repo. Heck. Can't believe I wasn't paying attention to that. I was just going through there killing them .getKeep files. And I deleted the get ignore and committed everything. Everything. So we gotta roll back time, man. We gotta undo what that was. Code. I think I put this in stream. Yeah, I think it's that. Open that. Did y'all catch the dumb thing that I did? Dumb. Why didn't you say anything? Can't trust y'all. Right here. Yeah, just in time. Yeah. Went through and was like, oh, those little .getKeep things. Look what I did. Look at it. Look at the shame. It's okay. It didn't push the branch. It didn't work. It's a commit. We can roll it back. But holy shit. Alright. And I'm fairly new to this interface. I'm on the right branch. File view. File was deleted. Undo. Undo. These are staged. Hang on. I'm just getting my shit figured out. Yeah, nope, we don't want that. Where's my, where'd he go? So who's that? That was not undoed. Yeah, just, that's a good question. Let me make sure it is. Hang on. It's this one right here. Not this. Because in here... Nope, we're good here. I modified those. It's just... that. Wait. What is going on? No, hang on. Yeah, I think so. I think it is. But what is okay, so what is this showing me it's gonna do? So the deletion is staged. So if I undelete it, undelete that, where is where well I undid. Yeah, that's my problem with using UI things, is I don't exactly know. Okay. Where is this though? It's in .getIgnore. Why do I not see it over here? Maybe a refresh. Reload. Jesus, what is going on? Where's this? Oh, maybe this is freaking out because, like, it deleted it, but it was still already open. I'm guessing. Let's unstage everything. I don't know what this is going to try and do here. So it's saying these are my changes, so all that shit I don't want. Do you have a tree view? Do you have a tree view? Refresh that. I don't know what that's going to do. I'm just going to break shit left and right here. Okay. Opening the repo. Alright, these are unstaged. This is a file deletion that is unstaged, right? And so, okay, it's a file deletion that is unstaged. So essentially, I just need to recreate the file, right? Just copy paste into .getIgnore. And I could stage that and commit it. No, I'm a little confused. What did I do? Look at all that. It's going to add these. So I want to unstage that, right? Oh. Well, right quick. How about that? If I did that? I don't know, but that's the real issue. Is yeah, and this, and there's just so much crap that has to be ignored. Alright. I need this file back, basically. And I don't want... What mess did I get myself into? Git checkout. Oh, yeah, no, that's a good call. I bet I could... Okay, hang on. Let's try and do that. They messed me up, man. Like, I wanted to go into it as maybe I have a really good timeline that I could just say, no, go back to there. It is a cool UI though. Git Kraken is a pretty good one. Chicken. Oh, heck. What? Did that just solve everything? Modified that, modified that, modified that. What? Yeah, the dot dick. Okay, okay. Okay, I think we're good. I need a break for a minute. 5 minutes. If you guys are still hanging with me. I don't know if people are still with me. I'm going a little over. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Man, can't believe I just did that dumb thing. One of those days. One of those days. Okay, stand by. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, probably 4 minutes. And Kimiko, thank you very much for your help. I'll be right back. Oh, my lord. Okay. Wow. Let me just check up here. Listening to me mess up. Jeez. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That's so dumb. Dang it. Nikki Dubs, do you remember? So you remember when we did that little one-shotter, and it was like it was my very first D&D game ever. And so Nikki Dubs was GMing for us, and it was me and a junior developer that we had on the team. He pops in here from time to time, and we were presented with a puzzle. Like, and I never envision, like I didn't know anything about D&D. I was like, there's dice, there's stuff, it's you tell stories and you do stuff, and I have a character sheet that was a one-shotter, it was all printed off. I was really trying to get into it too. I was trying. I'd done all my research and I kind of watched, you know, some of the Critical Role stuff and whatnot, and so we're presented with like a super basic riddle, and it just like I had no idea. Play D&D. Oh, well, I want to play more. I mean, now it's even harder because winter. But yeah, D&D is, I think, like really super rad. Follow a couple of channels, a couple of cool people that do mini painting, and a lot of different DMs and GMs and Critical Role and Geek and Sundry, and you know, that's my thing. I mean, that's my thing. I love it. I love it. But we were playing, and it was the most simple thing ever, and we couldn't get it, and we were like, okay, you know, it's been a while. We gotta wrap up. We were just playing at the office. We like drug a table over and set out everything. I could roll 20 right now, brother. You want me to roll 20 right now? You tell me. All right, we're gonna do this. I need a break from this for a second anyway. If you guys are still bearing with me. Dang, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. Okay, go to the show and tell cam. Yeah, okay, everything's still working. Audio's still working until randomly I'll roll something weird. Let's see. Yeah, I'll get the dice that I like. So I got my dice tray, position it here. Oh, you meant the roll 20 app. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like literally roll a 20. So I'm just going to do that. That right there. That's my get commit. That's my get commit. Is a nat 4. Freaking get commit. Nat 4. Oh, surprise. You committed your node modules. Oh, and you pushed the branch. Good luck with that now. At least I didn't push it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Where were we? We were fixing this thing up. Do want to stage it. Keep. Good. Get keep server. Delete good. Good. Add this. Good. Add this and just do a whopping stupid commit. Need to play another P and P. What is P and P? P and P. I don't know what you're meaning. P. I need to play another P and P. I'm also new to D&D in general. Played DSA, I think, popular 20 in a critical. Oh, another. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean that's my thing. Is I get the remote nature of it. I think it's cool, and I think that Roll20 could be kind of interesting. But I don't want to buy all in on turning it into a video game, because I don't play video games. I did Dragon Age Origins, was probably the most recent one that I got kind of into, and I was really intrigued by how they had their story set up where there's consequences and whatnot. But before that, I was like, Age of Empires and Diablo was my thing, and never even multiplayer. So, but I really love tabletop games. I have a lot of tabletop games. I think that so Coup is really, really fun. But I have a handful of tabletop ones, you know, that I like. Give this a let's see, what would we even say? More intelligently update images with ignores. Sure. Sure. More intelligently. I guess, okay. We close all these down. I don't need that open. So we'll see. Heck. Alright. 1 or 2. So I did 1 originally, and then I don't remember if there were any expansions for that, but I did 2, and then I did the Hellfire expansion. I don't think I got 3. I think something about it, like, turned me off. Or maybe I got it and tried it out and I didn't really like it. But it was too... There was something about it I didn't really like. Dragon Age Inquisition. Is this after Origins? I still don't understand in the timeline really where it falls. Yeah, time is the enemy of gaming. Hell, time. So also games are like work now. Like my kid was telling me about a game where like you're a lawnmower. Like you go and mow people's lawns, and I'm like, you could just do that. And then I saw Ellie Face. So she's a Philly streamer. Was doing December, so she was playing a lot of sim games, and there was one where you're a mechanic, and you know there's the one where you cook. Okay, Origins, then Dragon Age 2, then Inquisition. Oh, so I'm like way behind. Yeah, I know. My thing is, I don't know. It's when it comes to gaming, like especially I'm on a Mac, so I'm probably not gonna get a lot of fun out of more of the high-end games anyway, because it's not designed for that, or it's not what I have the Mac for. So I don't really have a gaming PC. I don't have anything against gaming. Trust me, I like watching people play games all the time, and I do, you know, kind of your normal console games. We got the for Christmas we finally got one of the many original NES like reboot type things. That's been fun. And my kids are all like, holy crap, games were so hard when you were a kid. Yeah, no shit. And then, like, I really did enjoy Mortal Kombat, like, for quite a while. I played the original arcade release when I was a kid, and it was in the game center of a campground that I was at. I spent so many quarters, and I spammed Scorpion Harpoon, like, because that's the only thing I knew how to do. And then I got a few later ones. I did play Come to Me. God of War 2 quite a bit. And then I got God of War 3. I don't remember if I actually played that much. But, you know, God of War is okay, but it's still a new interaction in that it's got that... There's a term for it. It's like the push the buttons and walk you through the combat type thing. I don't. There is a term for that. I don't know what it. Quick action. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. It's just not my thing. You know, I got other stuff to do. And if I want to play a game, I know that I can, but I can also just like watch people do it like way better than me because like that's what they do. Yeah, QuickTime events. Nikki Dubs. Yeah, there you go. Esharina on it as well. Esharina, meet Nikki Dubs. Nikki Dub, meet Esharina. You both know at least something more about gaming than I do. So we push this. We'll do this real quick. We'll try to get this pull requested in. What are we, because we wanted to do the ECR things. Yeah. So we do new. We say target branch. Let's just double check the files, y'all. Okay, no node modules, Jesus. Hala! You need to play the latest God of War. So, Derterin. I'm probably saying that way bad. Is this the one with Boy? Boy. I don't remember if there was one that came out in 2017 or if this is the one for 2018 that everyone is talking about. But you're probably right. Lena BR. and got a fancy pen in the mail. It's weighted rollerball pen from the company Baron Fig. Ooh. Fancy. Fancy. It's making me want a PS4. PS4 is nice. It's nice. Tyrann. Is it Tyrann? Tyrann? Tyrann. I don't know. Got a boy. Boy. No, so when I actually sat down to watch Netflix's Bird Box, and she had girl and boy, only thought in my head, boy. I haven't played the game, I've just seen the memes and the video playthrough and whatnot. I think it's funny. Okay, let's see. Leave a comment. Because doesn't really let you, when you open one, it doesn't let you give, oh, it does. Oh, heck. Hang on. Oh, because I opened it, so I can, okay, so avoided potential catastrophe with accidental get ignore removal. Add ignores to Docker so we don't bloat our images with unnecessary files. Say update. Now I'm curious. I want to see, like, what's this actually look like? I click that. Oh, heck, popped it right open. Whoops. And then I immediately minimize it so no one can see. Smart, Bobby. Yeah,